Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's about to get your sauce. I guess. I don't know. Is it a podcast? Is it sauce? I am. No. Welcome back on a Wednesday night, Veto night. And we are here to break down a pretty fun episode of Big Brother as we're 24 hours away from the eviction. Tomorrow night should be another good one. And here to break it down, a great panel, of course, here with us tonight. It's the voice of the people. Okay. She missed the round table, but we're here to get all her thoughts here tonight. Melissa Deni.
Yes, I was so sad to miss last night. I'm so sorry if I talk a ton on this podcast. I just feel like everything is all like I had so many good talking points for last night, and I was just sitting there like listening to the roundtable this morning, being like, I want to say something, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do it today.
All right, we're not going to do any ratings here tonight, but want to get all of your thoughts here on the podcast tonight. Melissa, great to have you here. Of course, joining us here from the Perfect Match podcast. Please welcome back. It's Aysha Welch. Aysha, how are you?
Hey, Rob, can you see me? I'm trying to.
No, I do. Yeah, I do see you. Yeah, you're sticking out from behind the microphone. Yeah. Yes, I definitely do see you.
I was trying to figure out which one of y'all stole my lays because before the podcast I had them and now I don't, and so I was trying to.
Wasn't me. Yeah.
Wait a second, I found them. I'm
okay.
Good. We're good.
Another Lay's fake out.
Yes, so many fake outs with the Lays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of original Lays, but for Taylor, I'll buy them.
What do you like, Aysha?
Baked Lays.
Oh, baked Lays. Oh.
Wow, that's a whole other thing. I do love
another
those
fake
too, but
out.
The baked Lays are very good, I have to say. Huge fan.
Nice delicate crunch. Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, nice delicate crunch.
Okay. And also nice to have back with us tonight, Matt Liguori. Matt, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, I haven't been around all season much, but I'm very excited to be back here talking about an incredibly fun CBS show. That's why I'll be covering the challenge tomorrow with Scally.
Yeah.
But tonight we'll talk about some Big Brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah. All right. Happy to have you back here tonight. Of course, we are going to be taking your questions. If you have questions, you can ask them in the chat here if you're watching us live on YouTube or on Twitch. And then we will go ahead and star those and get to those later on in the show. Of course, tomorrow night will be eviction night. We'll be back live after the eviction when potentially we will see if Michael lives up to the promise, sending Daniel out to join Nicole. And then, of course, on Friday, maybe we'll get the chance to speak with Daniel as well. So be on the lookout for that as well. So lots of good stuff coming your way here with all things Big Brother 24. All right. So we had our big night where it seemed like that DJ Showtime had a big plan. He had one last counter offensive. It was going to work. He got all mustache twirly that it was going to work. But ultimately, once again, the other side of the house was thwarted. Very fun to see them crash and burn again. Melissa, what was your reaction to tonight's show?
Yeah, I thought that they did a really good job of conveying kind of how the plan kind of crashed and burned, where it was like initially it's not a bad plan per se, just the plan generally, don't use the veto, you take out Monty, et cetera, keep Daniel because he could be a shield. But it was just the way that they went about it was just way too obvious. And honestly, Michael was considering making the move. It seemed like, just upon initial conversations, it was like, okay, maybe. But then as each person in succession came up and said the exact same thing to Michael, it was like, duh, you're all working together. No thanks. And he even said, like, I'm not going to be on the bottom of whatever alliance you're forming over here just to get out Monty. Like, it just doesn't make any sense for him. So they really made Terrance look like a little doofus tonight. The way it was edited of him talking to the camera, like, this is the big move. I'm the HOH. And then like the music being like, burr, burr, It was very well done.
We got a lot of DJ Showtime calling his shot.
You know your boy DJ Showtime always has a plan.
DJ Showtime, you're
Always.
not my boy. Stop saying
Anytime
that.
someone says they're your boy,
They
like
are
if
not.
you're in the Big
They're
Brother
not your
house,
boy.
the second you start saying your boy, like you should take a step back and be like, okay, I'm clearly not their boy. This is all wrong. Anyone who said this before has been wrong. So
We're
I
not
should stop.
boys. Yeah.
We're not boys.
Aysha, that it seems like that it is a theme in this house of that, you know, if somebody that you are not working with tells you to do something, you do the opposite. That Daniel, he said, oh, they want me to use the video. I'm not gonna do it. You always do the opposite in this house.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one that got, right? But had they not created this amazing plan, Michael probably would have done it. Had no one approached Michael about this whole like elaborate thing where the whole convenience store alliance, the five of them had decided, oh, this is what we should pitch to Michael. It was a very strong possibility he would have done it. So, you know, it's on brand though that they would do this. They're making this season happen.
Yeah. Matt, once like Indy and Alyssa are up in the HOH, like, you know what, we know it'd be a cool move. Like, let's get Monty.
Yeah, especially those two. And I'm sure we're going to get into it more. It was a lot more going on than just, you know, these silly people coming up to pitch what was going on. There's the Kyle of it all that was trying to make this happen. And, you know, ultimately none of that makes the episode. So I don't know if that's like part of the live feed discussion later on or now, but I think
I think we can get into it. I think it's fine.
It seemed like a lot of the Monty, you know, being a name that was floated around this week was because of Kyle and because of his theories that he had going on, or who might be working together. And during, all the conversations that Michael was having, a lot of that was dispelled. And it was like, okay, well, that's not what's happening. Michael started to be a little, I think, weirded out by Kyle, if I was getting, you know, all of this correct.
All are.
But it's you know, a great opportunity, at least, to dunk on the silly people on the other side of the house, Jasmine and crew. So that's what we got.
Yeah. This Cookout 2.0 alliance that Kyle was thinking was forming. I mean, there were holes everywhere in that theory. So on the feeds, the initial time that Kyle brings this up to Michael, he says that Taylor's in it, Indy's in it, Jasmine, Monty, and Joseph. And the fact that he is pitching this to Michael, who Taylor is the closest to between, you know, Brittany and Michael should have just immediately thought, oh, this is false. But it didn't take until Jasmine and Indy wanted Monty out that he's like, oh, well, they're not in an alliance.
Right. Yeah. It's like a lot of the intricacies of like why this plan failed were obviously missed in the episode, but then you'd have to like go into all the Kyle stuff and go into this like idea of the Cookout 2.0, like, and I think the editors didn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Shocking.
So
Yeah.
I think the way that they like conveyed this, like got the message across that they were like floundering with their plan and it wasn't going well for them. Well, at the same time, like avoiding that, which like obviously we want to see on the feed, or we want to see what's on the feeds be reflected on the show, but like I get why they would just keep it simple, like these guys were just idiots, you know, that's all it was. But yeah,
I think it might be hard to give that story on the show because I think that, not to say anything derogatory about the Big Brother viewing audience, but I think it might be hard to sort of present that information without some of the audience like, oh wait, is that true? Is that an alliance? Because unless somebody is in the diary room saying like, hey, Kyle has an asinine idea that he thinks these people are working together. Like, I don't know if they would even like give that without like maybe like some people thinking that he is onto something.
Right. It wouldn't really make any sense in the way that the show has been edited so far. And also not only that, it just like wouldn't make any sense because like it didn't make any sense and it came out of literally nowhere, just Kyle's brain. So I think like there really wouldn't be a good
He's having some issues. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a tough time, I think. So yeah, it's just the way that they did it was the best I think we were going to get. And it still managed to make that whole side of the house look really dumb. I do wish that maybe like Kyle was more involved in this, because he does kind of come out of this looking like, fine. And it does kind of seem like, well, he was interested in turning on Monty, and he was interested in working with Alyssa and that side of the house. Like, he's not this like gung-ho leftovers guy that they're portraying him as.
And while I would say he did come across fine on the episode, I'm sure that the fact that KK Kyle was trending all week is not necessarily that he's coming out.
Not good for his image.
Yeah, even Steven on all this. Right.
Yeah, they, like I said, they were using it as a great opportunity to dunk on the other side of the house, specifically Terrance, and turn him into a much bigger character. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how the hole that Terrance has dug himself into is really just completely on him. He had this opportunity that he could have joined up with the majority. He found his way right into Jasmine's side of the house, and he's put himself there. And at this point, there's nothing left to show of what we're doing with Terrance in the house. He's going to be there. Showtime of what he's going to be doing for the next couple of weeks, or maybe even just next week, depending on if he goes out, whatever. Other than just him and these weird reads and whatever he's got. I don't know. Not much. I
loved the it's Terrance just bragging to camera about all of the great things that he was doing.
I'm not letting him go nowhere. I told you I was gonna do it. The joy I'm giving you is me celebrating me.
He's celebrating him.
Like, why not wait until something has actually happened before celebrating? I feel like, ugh.
That's the beauty of it. Just the confidence. Like, I wish I could walk around with as much confidence that side of the house has every single week. That what they think is going to happen is going to happen. Like, it's been proved time and time and time again. They should believe it to see it, but they're like, no.
They have failed on almost every single thing they've wanted to do this season. But yeah, you're right, Aysha. They have so much confidence. They're so sure of themselves. Like, if there's no self, like, what if it doesn't work this time? Like, no, we got this.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about Jasmine and the way that she thinks that she's being slick in the house. Not hiding under a couch. So. That tells you all you need to know about what that side of the house is thinking they're getting away with.
I mean, the icing on the cake of that little just being proud of themselves moment was Daniel telling Terrance, "This is your HOH."
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so bad. It was so bad. And Terrance is like, yeah, I got this. Oh God. And honestly, like, this whole week when Terrance was saying, I threw the veto to Michael. Like, I threw this to him. I told him I wanted him to win it, and I gave it to him. Like, I thought that he was lying the whole time. Like, I thought he was just like couldn't pull it off and like couldn't win the veto, and then just like playing it off as like, oh, I gave it to you. But he actually did give it to him. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that he actually like was in, like, he came in second place and he could have possibly gotten first place. We don't know. I was very surprised he did so well.
Yeah, it was a little comical that in the veto it comes down to Terrance and Michael. And so Terrance says, like, hey, I'm going to give this to you. Like, we're really, like, if push came to shove, like, was he really like,
could have gotten this.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess anything's possible. But, it did seem like that, Michael, who's won so much in the house, that if he really wanted it heads up against Terrance, I think he probably would have had it.
Yeah.
And it was just so weird how he was just like being all suspicious about it. He's like, we'll talk later. Like, you've got to win this. And Michael's just like, I'm doing my best. Like, okay. I'll do my best. Thanks. It's like, what the heck is going on here?
That man could not believe he was still up on the platform. Final two with Michael, like looking back at all the people that had fell and were out. Like, he knew he'd beat Jasmine. And then everything after that was just a lovely surprise for TG Showtime.
The episode actually started with, reactions to the nominations. And we got from Terrance that, he's not cool with this plan to get rid of Daniel. He says
Daniel is really dope.
Yeah, really dope is one way to describe Daniel.
I'm very surprised that he like all of a sudden switched and was so gung-ho about Daniel. Like he had Daniel and Nicole both just were like willing to get him out. And he even said afterwards that Daniel's sympathy vote didn't mean anything because he wasn't trying to fight for him, was just willing to let him go, but was just giving him like a sympathy vote, and that means nothing. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, actually, I'm totally cool with Daniel and Nicole. I don't know. It was a weird switch.
Terrance doesn't know what he wants. He is just flying with the wind. He's like Michael Scott on The Office. Like he'll start a sentence and he doesn't know where it's going to end. He's just enjoying the journey on the way. Like he doesn't even know who he wants to be loyal with. It's just in that moment, or loyal to in that moment. It's whoever he's talking to, whatever he's feeling. What's the vibe? He's just existing, and he's just like a sub plot to this game. I mean, Indy is like right below him, but next up is Terrance.
Just try to think of like one thing that Daniel and Terrance have in common. Like, I challenge you all.
I think
Being blindsided?
I think they are a fan of old music.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the right track.
They both say mean things about Taylor.
They both say they're in the entertainment industry.
Yes. Yeah.
So
there's a few things.
Piecing it together.
There's a few things that they have in common. But Jay's just like, hey, I'm not going to let this guy go this week. And they concoct this big plan. And the plan ultimately starts off being that Daniel should win the veto, and that'll work. Then this is so asinine to me, just like that. The idea of just this, without like getting into like the veto competition yet, that it's the Festy Bestie twist, which is that they have two teams, like the HOH team, then the nominated team, and then we're going to pick one other team. And then like this, so they're only going to draw one other team. All right, so now that team doesn't get drawn. But then this week to do OTEV, which is an individual competition, when all of the other veto competitions during Festy Bestie were team competitions, and one of the teams that's nominated is 3 people, which was half the people in the veto. Like, what are they even doing?
I don't know why they did OTEV this week.
Why?
It made no sense. Why were they dressed in the same colors?
Yeah.
OTEV is supposed to be like near the end. Like it's supposed to be like a big point in the game, like past jury. Like, oh, we made it to OTEV.
Right.
That's supposed to be a big deal. And here they do it this week pre-jury. Like it, and with all these complications, like you just said, it just doesn't make any sense.
And Michael and Brittany each wore a veto. What would have happened if they were the last 2?
That's what I want to know. How many veto necklaces exist in the
there were 3 on the wall in case the team of 3 won.
Oh my God. No, I think doing veto or OTEV this week was wrong. I think they should have waited. I think it needs to be something we're like excited about and look forward to. It's like if they did BB Comics, like as the first one.
And the fact that like we're this, we're about to lose Daniel and we already lost Nicole, and like neither of them got zinged, like I would have appreciated that. Like this could have been a good Zingbot week.
Yeah, I do feel like Zingbot is another one where it's like, okay, that's like a later veto and everyone looks forward to it. But like, I'd be okay with doing it earlier just because more people could get
more
fun.
More options for
more jokes to write.
Yeah, like like OTEV, like whatever, you don't need more people for that. He's not zinging people, but like Zingbot, like
imagine Jasmine goes next and we don't zing. Like, come on, you're losing all of your characters.
You're losing the good zings.
Yeah. Maybe could the Zingbot do goodbye messages for Dan? like that we have the zings queued up. If we don't get them, like okay, well now take a look at some of the words that your house guest left for you, and like, hey Daniel. Yeah. So it's a possibility. We're just throwing it out there. Yeah, but Melissa, why do you feel like we're doing things like OTEV this early?
I don't know. I mean, I think they just like
unexpected.
Yeah, expect the unexpected. Welcome, Big Brother, Rob. No, I don't know. I think that they probably are like, people love OTEV. Like, let's do it. I don't know. It really, I can't explain it because I think of it as a later season competition, and so I don't know.
I feel like they
Here-
probably, have planned out all the OTEVs for years to come. Like whoever creates the OTEV, like they know what next year's is in the year after, and they are just so anxious to show the world their new OTEV, the whoever, the next one. So they want to get these OTEVs out as fast as possible, in my opinion.
Here's what it is. I think
Go
that so Daniel has reminded us on every episode he's been trying for 10 years.
Mhm.
So they were like, okay, if there's a potential that this is Daniel's last week and he may get to play, let's do OTEV before he's out of the house to
You think they
fulfill
like
his
him that
dream.
You think they're thinking
Maybe.
that they're planning out the schedule for Daniel? I don't know about that one.
I have one request in this house. I want to be in the house when OTEV
I
shows up.
need to play OTEV.
Maybe you gotta turn yourself
Espe-
sideways to give that
especially if it's a
confessional.
musical OTEV, because I'm in the
Probably
music.
singing along.
Yes, I am in the
We're
music
in the
industry
same
also.
industry.
Yes.
OTEV and I are in the same industry. No, I have to say, I personally and not to be a Debbie Downer, but I personally think they have completely ruined OTEV. I think that these long, drawn out songs and descriptors and things like that we have to sit through while they're all dressed as cockroaches or someone's puking all over everyone. I think that all that stuff just kills any sort of momentum that OTEV initially had. And I think that there's like a frantic energy to OTEV. I mean, you think of like the OTEV with Janelle and James and like the harm and all that. Like there's this frantic energy about like, we have to find the pieces. We have to get it up in time, blah, blah, blah. And like the longer they're sitting there, just like bopping their heads along to some lame country song, like is less time that they're going to be sitting there frantic. And we have to sit there and watch these dumb songs. Like, I'm sorry, I can't follow along because you lose my attention span. Like halfway through this like minute long song that they're playing for us. Like, I don't care to listen to these little ditties, but from somebody, like I get when, oh God, what was the guy's name? I just knew his name. The comedian.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert
Yes,
Gottfried.
Gilbert
R.I.P.
Gottfried. I
Yes.
get like when he was OTEV, the voice of OTEV, like you want to have a longer like little like thing because it's his voice. But for all the other stuff, it's like I don't care. Like I don't care to listen to this stuff, and so it just kills the momentum. I was beyond bored. And I loved OTEV in the past. So like I was beyond bored. I didn't pay attention. Sorry, like to everyone, because I can't tell you what happened during the OTEV competition because I was so bored.
That's why it's so hard, Melissa. They made it so boring that people would check out while they were listening
See,
to the song.
honestly, there's no way I couldn't even get the
It's
clues.
more
too. I
mental
feel
than
like
ever.
they made the clues so convoluted to me. Like I don't know any of the past competitions. Like I don't know any of them. I think like it made a lot more sense when it was like you need to pick like the house guest name or whatever, where it was like this person was nominated before they were HOH or whatever it is. Like that sort of thing like makes sense to me. But this like here's what happened in this competition when you were sitting on the toilet. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
And
I thought
also
the
like
dancing was
flashbacks.
cute.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Aysha.
I thought the dancing was really cute. I think that they were enjoying it. I was just trying to find the positives out of the songs. I thought it was easy though, because it was like literally the clue was the last line of every song. So you literally could tune out.
Of it?
Yeah.
Like,
They all had
who's
different
the rest
vibes.
Of it? Do literally one line in a song. Fine, do one line. Like, what is with all this other
and like
junk?
3 of the comps were from like week 1 because they had like that 7-part
night
HOH.
one. Yeah.
night
From
one.
night one.
And like that was the part of the season that we were all like miserable. So we were flashing back to a time where I was like, I hate this. I don't want to be reminded of this week. I don't.
I think you're right. Then I think they write the competition like
Yeah,
immediately.
those
They
songs
already
that you
have it
hate,
planned.
They were written before
They
the
were written
pandemic.
like a month ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not for me.
Let's
And I
talk
love
about-
OTEV. And I want to be clear. I like
so-
that is like a competition I look forward to. And I was dead bored.
Sorry they
thought the
ruined OTEV
dancing
They
for you.
ruined it.
the songs were, they don't like it either. The clues weren't hard enough. If they had added like who won that competition, was it a POV or HOH or whatever.
Michael.
But I
Yeah.
did like that every song was a tad different, had a
Mhm.
different vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the hardest thing was even understanding what OTEV was saying. That there was one of them where they're talking about like I'm like, OTEV is talking about like putting the pistons on your I'm like, what? Like, I don't even know what. And then like, oh, it was piercings.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? That, I think that the singer could have enunciated a little bit because it was a little hard to make out what the roach was saying. How do we feel about? Yes, Aysha.
I was gonna say it was okay. It was funny the first 3-4 times that OTEV cussed, right?
Every
But
time.
now,
Every time. Aysha, I went back. I couldn't even figure out what was the curse words that he was saying.
When Daniel was like, "It's a family show," I was like, "I don't know what he said."
Yeah, have you watched it this season?
The
It's
S
not.
word.
Yes.
Because he was saying like it's a blank load of whatever he was talking about.
It's an S load of sauces?
Yes.
Why?
Of course.
Why does OTEV have to be so foul-mouthed?
Like, I got it when it was Gilbert Godfrey, and that was like the funny thing was that everyone was all shocked that OTEV was cussing, but like, you don't need that.
Maybe the Paramount Plus version will have the actual explicitives in it, and we'll cut those clips
So
for the
funny.
soundboard.
Is that what they have for the challenge, Matt?
Yes, the extended versions of the challenge that are on Paramount Plus, curses and all. Just check out those Tyson confessionals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, like, I was shocked. Like, I was expecting some sort of like crazy, dangerous, like course or something. And like they were talking because, like, first of all, many people got injured. Like Turner's knee popped out of its socket or whatever, leg. Brittany like had to get stitches in her knee. And they were all talking about all the cuts on their hands from how sharp the objects were. Like, what? I didn't see anything. Like, I didn't, and I get that they weren't intending to show that on the show, like on purpose, because they didn't want you to see someone's knee get like gouged open. But like, I didn't even see the course being at all that dangerous.
That's what the gallons of water are for.
Inflatable pools or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Covers it up.
Mm-hmm.
Something, they had razor blades in that water, and they
oh, that makes sense.
They ran through them.
Oh, I just like wasn't thinking of the razor blades.
When the feeds came back, if anyone saw Brittany's knee, like there was like a line going down it, and like bandages covering it up. I don't remember.
You could see the top
did she
of
get
it,
stitches
like,
or?
Yeah, she got stitches.
Yeah, like
and
she
you could
was,
see the top of it, and it was a open wound.
And when she loses,
terrifying.
she's standing at the top of the platform, like just standing there, and like they have whoever the rest of the contestants up there like blocking her knees, so of course you can't see it, and they didn't want to show us whatever, but she was definitely standing there, blood dripping down her leg of some sort, unless they covered it up for, I don't know, but yeah, they got beat up in this one.
Imagine if that had happened to Jasmine.
Oh,
you would have taken her out on the
Jasmine
stretcher.
actually won a round, Aysha. Could you believe it?
Shocked.
Like, what was that? The woman can't walk up the stairs. She got up the ramp for OTEV.
And Monty pumping her up at the top like a proud parent, and she was like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, I did it.
She uses a cane in the pool, but she can climb up the rope for OTEV.
Pick and chooses.
Make it make sense. Yeah. Now, we haven't talked about the concept for OTEV very much. OTEV tonight, of course, we've seen many different versions of OTEV. OTEV was the sound check roach that loved sauce.
Get my sauce.
I guess OTEV was stage roach and instead of stagecoach, but like.
Oh, wow. That was a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. I didn't think of it either.
They had a 6-pack, unless that's all roaches have 6-packs.
Yeah, well, they have 6 arms. I kind of feel like
and 6 packs?
I don't know.
Has anyone ever seen a roach up close?
Never. I mean, I've never looked that close.
No.
I got to be honest. Yeah.
I don't know
Are
if
they
I've seen
ripped?
the undercarriage of a roach. Like, I feel like I've only
Well,
seen
when
them
they die,
scream.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
they're on their
good.
back.
They're sort of belly
like,
up. Yeah.
I don't know. I first noticed it with Joseph because I was like, even his costume has a 6-pack, and then I saw the main, stage roach on and the OTEV himself had one. I don't know. They I don't know what this was.
I think we're all just trying to figure out what this
We're
was.
trying to like figure out in the writer's room. Okay, so all right, it's not stage coach, it's stage roach. But why did he need sauces?
I
What
think
was
it
the connection?
Maybe they
country
barbecue. I don't know. I've never been to
These
Stagecoach.
were like barbecue sauces. because it's country music?
Mhm.
Are we?
And I mean, if
getting
it's a festival,
closer?
like, we're probably going, I don't know. I haven't been to any of these festivals, but I imagine like the bottles that are there are filled with something else, not sauces that people have in their
Yeah,
hands.
like maybe it's
No,
like
it's only
his special
sauce.
sauce.
It's only sauce, Asia?
It's only sauce. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well,
Mhm.
in that
Special
case, they did it
sauce.
right.
I never
Yeah.
did a stagecoach, so maybe barbecue is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me
Okay.
neither.
Get my sauce.
Our good friend
Yeah.
Phil T put a poll on Twitter. Which is better, the butter from
Butter-
OTEV or
yeah.
sauce?
Mm.
I feel like that butter was more memorable. I mean, I think that was like BB17 when they had butter.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I
I
don't
guess
think
Hey,
we're
we're
working
only
on
an
that
hour
yet.
out.
prescription pills.
I still have nightmares
Mhm.
about the psychedelic one. It was,
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
this
Scary.
is yeah, the psychedelic salamander.
One.
Yeah. So
Was he the
yeah,
one who had the prescription pills? Was that him?
that was I think it was the BB20.
Huh.
That was the skunk, I think, that had a cold.
The
needed
I
medicine.
always
Sneezing.
associate OTEP though with like the classic rock.
Mhm.
I guess that's like what I think of as OTEP.
Classic rock. No, this was country.
Oh, right.
Ding.
But
Come on.
Why don't we talk about some of the other things that we liked from the episode? Okay. Great segment tonight. I thought, along with everybody, okay, here comes Jailer segment. Okay. It's Taylor talking about her crush. Like, okay. And then Aysha, Taylor says, I am absolutely in love with the chips.
With Lay's. My heart was fluttering. I really thought we were about to get a Taylor and Joseph segment. I thought we were about to get some honest feelings out of the DR about how they have little crushes for each other. And then when she said, I am absolutely in love, I was like, is she there yet? Like, it's been so quick.
Yeah.
They got me, honestly.
Yeah.
They
I
got
felt
us
like the
all. We all
music-
got.
The music was a little bit of a giveaway just because it was so different from any sort of like showman's music that they do. It was like so over the top. But I still fell for it initially. And then when she started saying that she like thinks it's love or something, I was like, okay, no, like there's no
I think,
way.
Yeah, that gave it away.
That gave it away. But before
was
that,
still
I was
got-
like, okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
they kept
because
like
we've seen them go back and
showing
forth, but we haven't
Joseph.
seen her, or I think either of them really like come out and say like, I actually like have developed feelings. So she was saying that in the DR. I was like, oh wow, this is so cute, so sweet. Like the two of like the favorite house guests. Oh, she means the chips.
Well, it was
She
so
has
interesting.
told Brittany that she has a crush on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has never, Asia, been hinted at yet in the show. So this was
Right.
like
Right.
a
This is a
real
first.
left turn on the show. And then all of a sudden to have it come up with the chips segment, missed opportunity for Taylor to say, the only lays I'm looking for in this house are right here.
Yeah, I thought maybe because they didn't want to like use their trademark, but then they said it multiple times. So it was like, okay, I don't know.
They said it, but if you notice, Taylor in the diary room,
Yeah,
the
she had it
bag was
flipped.
always backwards. So
So I was like, you can't see it, but the reference to it is fine, I guess.
I guess you can mention it, but I think maybe
This is
you
Lay's,
can't show
I
the
can't show it.
logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better all this than the other showmans. There was none of that last night or tonight. And I doubt this will come up much in the feeds segment, but that couple is certainly progressing or hoping to progress. So I'll take the Jailer any day over what potentially could come from the show with those two.
To our friends over at Frito-Lay, what are you even thinking right now? Like, give them the green light. Show your chips. You can't buy this kind of publicity.
It'd be good for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about Lay's potato chips for I don't know, 40 years.
Especially the classic ones.
Yeah.
I mean, people are tagging at Lay's on Twitter, so they have to have seen what's going on here. But the only thing is, I mean, did anyone catch, like, when Taylor's in the DR, she got the bag turned around, so you don't see the logo like front and center. But, you know, plenty of times while she's eating them in the house, you can see it. But they were like, I guess, being careful not to be like, this is a Lay's advertisement.
I don't think she even said Lay's in the diary room.
She just kept saying
I
potato
think she
chips.
only saying potato chips, and then they said Lay's in reference to the house, because I think like that's considered like just like in reality, like inadvertent, like just speaking about a product that actually exists like in their reality situation.
Melissa,
versus
with the legal breakdown.
Well, versus the diary room where like that's more produced and the producers are actually like approving of this usage of her saying Lay's. So like I think that's the difference.
For Lay's potato chips, what are the what are the chances that somebody comes into this house who is beloved, that ends up is a super fan of your product, and not to mention that this could be, you know, you could come into the house and you know, oh, DJ Showtime loves Lay's potato chips. No, Miss Michigan is your spokesperson for Lay's potato chips.
I am a little surprised that CBS didn't reach out to Lay's and just be like, look, like, I'm sure you've seen the, like, what's going on Twitter or whatever. Like, is it cool if we just like have her mention Lay's? Yeah. Because you can do that. It's not like you like all of a sudden have to do like whatever product placement and all that. Like if it's just everyone approves of it and it's just a quick little reference to it, like
I'm good with this for now.
Red tape.
I feel like let's wait until after the season and let the Lay's money go straight to Taylor's pocket, not to BB, to CBS, and then bouncing maybe a little bit to Taylor. I feel like wait till the end. You will see the Instagram post in 2 months from now. Partnership with Lay's, and she will get that money.
Right. Aysha, do we know, do Lay's have any influencers that are out there? Any potato chip influencers?
That's a good question. They probably do, but have we seen it? So they're not like out there. It's not like I'm scrolling on TikTok and I'm confused and thinking it's a TikTok and it's like a Lay's ad. But I mean,
are there any Lay's ads? I guess are Paul Rudd and are they talking about Lay's? And
maybe Lay's is at the point of saturation where they don't necessarily need to do advertising anymore.
They don't. I mean, like, it's like when you get any kind of party pack of like you know, the bunches of different variety of chips, there are always going to be a couple of bags of the regular, you know, Lay's there. So no, they don't have to advertise. It's just their products out there.
Yeah. I'm on the Lay's Instagram right now, and I don't see any like noticeable faces. They're just taking pics from you know, regular day folks like us. But I would hope to see Taylor on there. Even the way she eats them, like she's in her bikini, she looks so fit, and she's eating one at a time. I don't know when in my life I have ever eaten chips one at a time.
Yeah,
and I love that she has like 14 different bags open throughout the house because she's like, no, this bag has fresh chips. I want to go to this bag. You guys can have the rest of these.
If you're not eating potato chips because you're watching your figure, look at this person. She eats Lay's potato chips all day.
Yeah. And
I can't name a time I've eaten chips like that. Like it's at least 3.
They could at the very least try to justify all of like the irrational things that people say about Taylor, being like, oh, we're jealous that she's like eating all these chips and like we don't have any chips. Like she's eating all of them, but like they're not using that opportunity. So maybe as we keep going in the season.
Yeah, I'm glad the one question I had, I thought she's been eating out of the same bag this whole time because she's eating them so slowly, like one at a time. Just to find out, you know, she has all those bags open is hilarious.
Yeah. And Aysha, she really loves the chips, because I had thought that maybe she was just like doing it like basically like the meme, almost like Michaela like was gonna like, oh, I'm eating the popcorn, like was doing it like for the GIF. But no, she seems like she really loves the potato chips.
I think it's 50-50. They have requested that she goes into the DR with the chips. She's like, oh, they told me to bring the chips again.
I don't know, between the chips and obviously the muffin that we haven't really talked about yet. They're really paying attention.
A muffin sponsorship for Jasmine.
What are the big muffin brands out there these days?
She's still going to make videos with muffins.
Yeah. And she'll ask Turner to be part of it.
Yeah.
I do want to say, or go ahead.
I was going to ask just how mad will Jasmine be if there is a muffin sponsorship that is given to Turner?
I think she'll be very mad.
Yeah, go ahead, Melissa.
Well, I just have to say, and I've been meaning to say this about the muffin controversy.
Yes.
There has been some talk online of like everyone's, rooting for Turner in this muffin situation, but if it was reversed and one of the members of the other side of the house was doing this to somebody, like if Jasmine was doing this to somebody, we'd have a very different reaction. And I do want to clarify that, like, part of the reason why I'm like cool with this Turner muffin thing, and I think it's funny and cute and like it's a whole little thing, versus some other behavior we've seen in the house in the past where like someone's just like, ruining people's things or whatever, is that Turner's not doing it to be mean, and he's doing it to be funny. And he specifically said that to the cameras, is like, oh, like, should I do this? Like, I don't want to be mean. I just want to be funny. And like, I think there's a difference between doing something that's like mean spirited and intentionally trying to like hurt someone or harm someone, and someone who's doing something like as like a joking thing. And I get that Jasmine like went around really mad about the muffin thing, but like, I think she also is recognizing that this is like a fun little like TV moment with like the diary room sessions and all that sort of stuff. Like, so I don't feel like this is like harmful behavior on Turner's part. I think it's like he's doing it for the gag, and I think that that's what makes it funny and like acceptable to me versus like other harmful like bullying behavior.
It's half a muffin, okay? We're allowed to have fun.
The other part of it is the recipient of it. Like, Jasmine is having fun with it. She's like, oh, this is my opportunity to be the star of the show. I'm going to be on a little investigation, going to hide behind couches. Like, she's having fun with it. That's why it's become a thing. If she had seen it at when she had first seen the half a muffin gone, and she would have been mad about it, who disrespected my stuff and cried about, then it wouldn't be this investigation.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be different.
And he probably he would have apologized too if it had gotten like that serious. If it was something like she was breaking down about,
like obviously.
We're fine.
And he specifically stated he's not doing this to be mean. Like, it's just supposed to be a joke. Like, and he purposely didn't want to do like eat too much of the muffin because he thought that'd be too mean or whatever. Like, I mean, he's not a mean guy. He's a nice guy. And I guess I'm saying that as like the #1 Turner fan right now.
Yes.
But I don't know if like I'm allowed to speak like this because I'm biased, but
And what's up with DJ Showtime and the snitching? Like, who invited you to this house?
Snitches get stitches, DJ
Well, Brittany
Showtime.
gets stitches.
Terrance had a bad
Terrance-
DJ Showtime did too much this episode.
It was
too much.
Yeah, I mean, Jasmine probably would have figured this out eventually anyway, because you see Turner's face when he gets confronted about it. It's like, okay, we know it was you, but let's admit it. We're besties. You should be loyal to me. Blah, blah. It was a cute little spot. But Terrance like going to her being like, just so you know, like it was Turner. He's trying to like play a joke on you or whatever.
What a crock.
It's like, all right, old man, get out. Like,
yeah,
it's just so lame. It's like, come on. Even if you know who it is, it's just like a fun little joke. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Terrance had a bad showing.
I like the way that they edited it because it was in Jasmine's favor, because when she actually did find out it was Turner, it was no longer fun for her because she's like, I don't like Turner like that, so why would he be doing that?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But I was like, oh, 2 seconds ago it was fun for you.
she was hoping it was Joseph.
But on the show, they only showed her like smiling about it. Like they didn't show like her going to a bad place. So ultimately, like that Muffin Gate, I will argue that it was the best thing to happen to Jasmine all season long. This was the thing that Jasmine did that people liked the most.
It helped her image so much.
So
I think,
much.
because it's just like cute and silly and fun. And even like the stuff that they didn't show on the episodes where like she wrote a note to the muffin stealer, like, come get it or whatever. And then the muffin stealer wrote a note back to her. Like, it was just like so funny, and it just kept escalating. And I thought it made Jasmine more endearing to me for sure. I mean, obviously, there's still issues there, but this whole like muffin thing with Turner, I thought was just so adorable, and I thought it was fun.
And she's not going to be happy when she gets home and sees all of Turner's DRs. You know, there's been like 3 in this episode.
She's
of
not
him,
gonna
like,
be happy when she sees a lot of things.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's fun and it's all fun and games right now for the most part. But he is fully, you know, getting the last word in, and maybe, you know, also making her a little bit more appealing to the audience because it's creating this rivalry that you know, Rob and Taryn talked about all of the famous Big Brother fights. You know, a lot of the famous rivalries come out of those fights, and these two are certainly making a pitch to be amongst that group. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll get the next ranking going.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed his impressions of her. I didn't catch the first one, like all the words, because he was going on and on. But that second one, they're scrambling more than eggs in the morning. That makes sense.
What was the first one?
Eggs scramble when you
That
cook
did make
them.
sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I forgot what the first one was. It was like long
It was long.
and didn't make sense, I think.
Salt.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the one where he was talking about. Yeah, he said something about salt and pepper and butter on corn cob on a Tuesday in the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Is where he was envisioning Jasmine during this veto competition.
You know, that was good. He did another one. He also said this in the diary room.
It is unshocking believable.
You know, now it was one thing when you're taking Jasmine's muffin, but Turner, Melissa's guy. Okay, listen to me. All right. It's one thing to take the muffin. Stop taking the bait in the diary room. Okay.
Yeah.
You're falling
Turner.
into the trap here. I know you want to be like liked by the producers, but you're taking the bait now. Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Melissa, what did he say? He's like, he called, he's like, I don't know. She's like a low rent Columbo. He doesn't know Columbo. Stop it. The guy is like 25 years old.
Yeah, I was
Turner
like, I
needs
didn't
to
get that
stick
right.
to his own references and his own thing because we like Turner for Turner, and just, you know, that's enough for me. You know, he's got the whole like the Jim Halpert thing where he just like looks at the camera whenever something's happening, and it's just amazing. That's all we need. That's what we need.
Before this rivalry, though, he was not getting called to the DR.
Right. So he's like, okay, I'm getting airtime. Okay, all right. What else you got for me, guys? Yeah.
I'll say anything.
There's a chance they like, I call me crazy. Like maybe they bribe them to like say all these ridiculous lines in there. Like I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say unshucking believable. Okay, but like $5. Okay, fine. Like I'm here to make money.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that they like, oh yeah, that'll kill. Like I feel like that they give them like positive reinforcement. Like I think that they say it on their own.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think and I think also like, I mean, at least what I've heard is that
that's fire.
You know, they'll say something and then like they'll say something that they actually are thinking, and then they're like, but what if you like changed to like, I don't know, like a corn cob or something? It's like they think, then there's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll repeat that with a corn cob, but I don't know.
Why the hell were there corn cobs?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Doesn't make any sense. All right. One of the other highlights of the episode tonight was Michael gave his speech. And the speech, they didn't really like hang a lantern on it in the episode, but it was a callback to the speech that Daniel gave back in week 1. Here was Michael's speech to Daniel.
To quote my favorite Elvis impersonator and what he said 4 weeks ago, what's good for the house is good for me. You've rubbed some people the wrong way here, and I hope you take this as an opportunity to apologize. Daniel, please take a seat.
Now, I don't know a lot of Elvis impersonators, but let me state for the record, Daniel is not my favorite Elvis impersonator. Maybe my least favorite Elvis impersonator. How about that?
Yeah.
If you have to have a least, you have to have a most. And if you don't know any others, he's your favorite.
So, you know, we joked about, or maybe I don't know if we were joking about, you know, past house guests. There was like a celebrity season recently where like, how is this person going to have a job when they get out of the house kind of thing, with all of how terrible they are. But some of those people like have money and they can just figure things out on their own and you know, whatever. But like, is Daniel one of those people? Like, is he going to go back to this job? Are they going to take him back? Are they going to say, oh, you just, you know, showed yourself on TV for all of these weeks and you know, people saw you and heard you, the things that you said, but yeah, come back and be Elvis again.
I don't know. Do you feel like that the Elvis cabaret that he works at is like, you've disgraced us?
Vegas. If he's, I don't know if they care. I don't know what's going on in Vegas, but I don't know if they're, you know, selling tickets to these shows. I don't know. Just curious.
I don't know. Like, I feel like that the whatever like Elvis cabaret he's at. I don't know if they have like a big like online presence where they're really gonna feel any sort of a backlash from social media.
And yeah, I don't know
Yes,
much
you
about
never know.
these shows, but I don't think it's like, I mean, maybe it is, but I don't believe it's like the stars of the show that are selling the tickets. I think it's just like the people want to see Elvis, and so they go and they're like, this is an Elvis show. I don't think they're like, and now Daniel is Elvis.
Right, they don't know
Yeah,
it's
like
Daniel.
nobody's
That's true.
buying tickets for his show.
Yeah,
like
like,
I'm
I
sure
think it's
whatever
like
it is,
he's
it's
pretending
like
to be Elvis. Like he's pretending not to be himself.
Like,
So I
this
don't
man
think
has
that
married
will-
people as Elvis. I'm so sorry to them.
yeah. You go see a show and it's like, okay, here's a bunch of like famous impersonators that are in the show. You don't even know if you go see the show, you don't even know it's like, all right, here's Daniel from Big Brother as Elvis.
Right. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been to one of these shows. Like, I don't even know if they have like a program or anything, or if they just like, if it's one of those like shows where people just like are on stage performing. Like some Vegas shows, like they just go on stage and perform. They don't like have the programs. But I don't know.
It's just great that he still tries to pretend that he's a super fan, or I don't know, maybe not pretend, but like that he still like, holds on to this title. When he gets out, he's going to hear a lot of things about himself, but I hope somebody slips in there that like not a single thing you did in the house shows that you have been watching the show for 10 years.
I
be
don't
honest.
believe that. Like, I don't believe that he like has been applying for 10 years, like he said, because like I thought, and maybe I'm making this up, but I thought I saw somewhere that he had like applied for another show and was rejected from another show, and then that's how he like got this. I don't know if that's true. Maybe he was just applying for all different reality shows for 10 years, but like, and maybe someone in the chat can like correct me on this, but like I thought I saw that somewhere, like him and like some of the other contestants. Like I think Kyle had applied for something else as well. And like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're applying for just like willy-nilly to a bunch of different shows, like I don't know if like it counts that it's like a 10-year
Sometimes it gets you pulled from
application.
Big Brother, even.
Yeah, true.
Especially
Yeah.
when you have been on them.
Been on those shows.
and are currently on them, and future
Yeah.
seasons are coming. I think I think that I think it would be one thing if he was just being honest about his knowledge of the show, similar to Brittany. Like Brittany's like, I'm realizing because I don't watch feeds, there's a lot I do not know. But I have watched the show. I've watched the episodes for years. But he's just trying to act like he is the biggest fan in this house. Nobody is a bigger fan than him. But it corresponds to the amount of power he thinks he has in the house too. So
Like his
I
whole
guess it makes
thing,
sense.
his whole thing in week 1 was like from one super fan to another. Like I got to get Michael out of here because I see through him. I see the game he's playing, and it's like cut to this week and cut to tomorrow's episode where Michael, the real super fan, will be sending Daniel's behind out the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from tonight's episode of Big Brother?
Sauce.
Okay. All right. Why don't we bring in the feeds? I don't know if we have anything too exciting going on, but we'll bring in the feeds and then talk about everything that's going on. And of course, get your questions in the chat as we welcome in tonight's spoilers from the live feeds right now.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
A spoiler.
warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
Spoiler.
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
Yes. Okay.
I like
all
all the
right.
props.
All right. Yeah, we got to get all the chips and
Maybe.
everything. Yeah. Okay. Nothing too exciting, right? Daniel's still going home.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
There is a small group of people who think that they can convince Alyssa to vote out Kyle.
Okay.
That was like a day ago. I'm not sure if they're sticking to, or if they're still trying to do that, or if they still think there's a chance of that. But 100% Daniel is going home. Just what those 5 who are not in the leftovers think is happening is just a different story.
So what is it? 9 votes. What's going to be the vote tomorrow?
Well, it was 9-1 for Nicole. So there's
now there's
9
12
remaining
people.
voters.
9-0.
9-0 this week.
Mm-hmm.
No, DJ Showtime is probably gonna save his
Sympathy
boys.
vote. Sympathy
Yeah.
vote. Okay.
Yeah.
8-1.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Then
Okay.
who's he going to cling to? He clung to Nicole and Daniel last week. Daniel this week. Who's going to be his new friend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
he
see.
needs someone.
And I take Terrance's point last night from the roundtable talking about how Daniel has been trying, whatever. That's all I'm going to say there. I'm not giving him any more credit. But today he spent some time talking to Alyssa, trying to, I guess maybe his thought process was, okay, well, the closest person to Kyle, maybe let them know how much that Kyle doesn't actually have her back and blah blah blah. And I mean, the problem is that he was talking to Alyssa, who doesn't. Has she ever successfully talked game in the house and had it mean anything? I don't know. So he was trying a little bit of that. It didn't go anywhere because Alyssa and Kyle obviously gravitated right back to each other and figured it all out, or Kyle at least covered himself up. So yeah, he's not getting anywhere with
Got to
anybody.
cover
in there.
himself up.
He's
Yeah.
got to cover himself up. That's a
At
great
various
point.
points. Sure.
And
Sure.
Yeah, I think like a move, because I feel like Daniel's kind of dead in the water here because Alyssa's not going to want to vote out Kyle. But I do think like a potential thing he could try if he's really just, I mean, at this point, it's like, what else is he going to do? He needs to try everything. Is like try and convince, I guess, the leftovers that Kyle was trying to go against them, or at least talking to maybe Monty and Joseph or trying to get them to believe that Kyle thought that, there was the Cookout 2.0, kind of bring that stuff up that. I don't know if he has all the knowledge to do this, but just try and convince the leftover boys that Kyle was trying to go against them and that they need to take the shot first and that he won't go against them, blah, blah, blah. I just think that would be the long shot. I don't think it'll work, but
yeah, I think he kind of needs to know all of that info, and I'm not sure that he is privy to all that, right?
There are some people over there that were privy, on the other side of the house that were privy to that information, but I don't know if they would think to tell Daniel, and I don't know if they care enough to try and save Daniel to do that. So I don't know. But that really would be it if he could get that information and then kind of, and even if he didn't know that exact information, but try and plant seeds of doubt and then maybe Monty and Joseph could end up confirming that information or telling Michael and Brittany hey, this is something that was brought to me by Daniel. Obviously it's not true. Right. And then Michael and Brittany maybe would say, actually, Kyle was saying this stuff to us. That is true. I don't know if they would do that, but yeah.
Okay.
Just the position that Daniel's found himself in the house, in lots of other seasons, when you have this last person from this group that you really wanted out, not counting the rest of these, as I keep calling them, the silly people on the other side of the house, Daniel,
the
Nicole,
convenience store,
right? Nicole's gone, and at this point, it's okay, Daniel, there is a compelling case that Daniel should stick around for a lot of people because he is going to stay somebody that people want out of the house, and you can use this opportunity to get somebody, Monty out, or just any other player. They could have in any other season, maybe any capable player that's not Daniel, potentially could have gotten themselves out of this spot or bought themselves 1 to 2 more weeks or whatever it is. But Daniel is just so unlikable, and so his game up until this point has been so bad, and his reads have been so bad, and his relationships have been so bad with most of the people in the house that nobody has even it's not a real thing that anybody can consider. And he's going to go to his pre-jury spot and call Nicole, and the two of them are going to live it up together,
hang out with Paloma. Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they have this false hope is they think they have Joseph, he's playing this double agent right now, but just bringing back everything from the convenience store to the leftovers. And so they're thinking all they need is Alyssa. And so if we don't get Alyssa, we won't. But even without Alyssa, it's for sure 5 votes from the leftovers to send Daniel home.
Yeah, they don't have Joseph. Another thing I guess that I did want to mention from the episode that I forgot about was at the end when Michael gives his speech, I thought it was great how the editors showed Joseph and Turner because their expressions was a highly talked about topic in the house, which is that Turner was laughing hysterically, which he wasn't, but he just kind of was smiling. But, apparently Turner was laughing hysterically. So they know that Turner is against Daniel. And then that Joseph was going like this. And because he was covering up his mouth, like the people on the convenience store side of the house thought that he was doing that because he was so shocked that this happened. And that's why they think Joseph is not with the leftovers. And instead they think that he's some free agent. And he was literally because of like the way he was holding his hands on his face. And apparently Joseph said he was doing that because he was like trying not to laugh. But they thought it was because he was completely shocked and taken aback by Michael's speech. And that has been it's been so good for Joseph's game that he did that, because it showed them that he was someone to try and like work with. And so now he knows everything that's going on the other side of the house. It's great.
Matt, did you so you had some updates about Kyle and Alyssa?
No, I don't. What time is it? Is everybody, all the kids in bed? Yeah, I woke up, I feel like the morning catching up on Twitter has been very eventful this season.
Sure.
So last night was no different. Woke up, and the only update that really looked like it was gaining attention was a image, at least that I saw, of Kyle laying on top of Alyssa. Everybody's fully clothed. But the conversation that they seemed to be having was that they wish that they weren't fully clothed. They wish that they could have just done it right then and there. But the cameras are there, and Kyle's mom exists. I don't know what the reasons why they are not going forward here. I don't know. There's more to it, I guess, but they had hoped that they could have. You never know. Like watch out for a Kyle or Alyssa HOH. Watch out for the stools. I don't know.
Because this wasn't even in like a private like HOH situation. This was like in a normal bedroom. So This was very exposed.
Their first kiss was like inches away from Daniel. Like
yeah. I mean, that's been like it's kind of like a on and again, off again conversation they've had this week was, why did Kyle try so hard in this HOH? And that's why he wanted the room for them. And so I can't imagine he's going to try hard every week as long as he's there to get HOH to be with Alyssa.
He's going to try really, really hard. Really hard.
Okay. Melissa, you said that you had a lot of stuff from last night that you wanted to get into from the roundtable. Can you give us some of your thoughts from the week that you didn't get to share?
I honestly have been very impressed with Joseph's game. I feel like he's done such great work. And even in the conversations with the leftover or with the convenience store, whenever they, are, even when they question him about like, wait, you are with us, right? You're not with the other side of the house. He does such a good job convincing them that he's not with the other side of the house. Like, and he just like makes a joke about like, oh, I'm so bad at this game, whatever. And he's just so likable and good, and everyone wants to work with him. And I feel like I was just very impressed with his game this week. So I would have rated him very high. And I've been impressed with Turner as well, would have rated him high as well. And I've been very not impressed with Terrance. I would have given him a 1 because he was doing... He was in a fine position literally like a week ago. Like people felt bad for him because of the whole, his allies trying to vote him out of the house thing. And, then he ends up staying, and he does a good job talking to the leftover side of the house and being like, these guys betrayed me. I'm a lone ranger, like lone agent, whatever. I'm by myself. Pick me up. I'll be loyal to you guys, whatever you guys want. Nicole and Daniel are like dead to me, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like he just flips back around and is like, actually, Daniel, you're my number 1. And it just like is so bad for him. He's doing everything so out in the open. And he's now the next target. And he did not need to be the next target at all. He could have lasted, like literally, he could have lasted all the way to the end. If he just was like, hey, leftovers, I'm with you guys. I'll do whatever you guys want, whatever. Or at least been maybe a little more subtle with his game. So yeah, he's a 1. He's terrible. Indy, terrible. She's never going to win the game. Like she's just not. And she's like, I don't even want to go to jury. It's like, what are we even doing here? Like,
good. You could leave.
I know, but she can't.
She wants to have fun in the summer house.
I would be fine to have Daniel stay to have Indy go this week. And I'm saying that because I much prefer someone in the house who wants to play and is, in it to win it versus someone who does not care at all. And we're going to waste a week trying to get Indy out. And it's just going to be, I can only hope, literally, because she just needs to get out of the house. If she doesn't want to be there, she doesn't want to play. Then that's fine. You can go. I don't care.
Hey, that's the consequence. That's the consequence. Now she has to be in jury for the whole rest of the time for the show. If she doesn't want to be there, she took that spot from somebody else. Now she has to sit in jury.
But now she gets paid for it.
Maybe they'll let her watch Big Brother Brazil. Isn't that what she is, raving about? I'm sure they have the DVDs of that for the jury house.
Okay. VHSs.
She'll be fine. VHSs.
I feel like, and I feel like
I VCR jury.
They roll out the TV cart.
I feel like I was very concerned with Michael at the start of the week because it really did feel like he was about to pull a Howie and target someone in his own alliance, and then that would make the leftovers possibly be in the minority for the rest of the game, and I was really not looking forward to that. So I was very, very nervous. I posed the question to him in his HOH, chat or whatever, but obviously CBS didn't use my question. They don't care about me.
What was your question?
My question was, I was trying to make it something that maybe they might ask him because I knew I couldn't just be I know that people will always in the comments be like, why are you thinking this is a good move when so-and-so is trying to get you out and give information? So I just said, I said, do you remember what happened with Howie's HOH and BB6? Because I wanted him
You were trying to send him a code.
I was trying to send him a code that maybe he would understand, but obviously they don't use my stuff. But yeah, I was so nervous that he was going to target someone in his own alliance. And I just felt like now is not the time to do that. Just wait. Please just wait. And then he flipped it around and he clocked that thing because I was also nervous that who knows, maybe he would just buy into it and be like, wow, the whole house is really anti-Monty. Maybe I'll just get him out. It's just he is a big player. It would be good for me to get him out. Maybe he would be thinking that. And I'm so glad that he wasn't snowed by them. And then he immediately was like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not falling for this. I was impressed with Brittany as well. She did such a good job this week. She kept everything on track and kept even when Michael was starting to kind of be like, well, maybe Monty, she was like, I don't think that's good. I think that's a bad idea. I think these guys are telling you something. And so I thought that they did a great job this week. Not impressed with Kyle. I have to say, get Alyssa out, get Kyle out. So that way they can be separated and we don't have to deal with this anymore because he has Alyssa brain and he doesn't have game brain. And it's been very sad to watch. So yeah, that's been the week, I think.
Okay. I like this new segment. Aysha, if you were on the stock watch, what would you have wanted to talk about?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to get it all out.
No, this is good.
I am also impressed with Joseph, but I do want Joseph and Taylor to continue to flirt.
Oh,
I'm fine with it staying there. Don't get on the Alyssa Kyle level where all you're doing is goo-goo-eyed at each other, making out all the time. But this flirting that they're doing is actually pretty adorable. And I do hope we get more of it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, we like a will they, won't they? We don't like a showmance. The will they, won't they is cute. It's adorable. It's flirty.
The problem
and fun.
is one thing leads to another.
Wasn't that Ika and Demetrius for the longest time in BB25? And that's why we fell in love with it. Because it was
like it.
Yeah. And then eventually when it happened, it was like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing on earth.
Yeah.
Right.
To this day, an engagement.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be the future.
So 10s for both of them.
Okay. What about for you, Matt? What if you were on the round table?
I'll go the Amon route and just 10s for Taylor and Joseph because they're incredible to watch and to look at. They're great looking. And then 1 for just great to look at. 1 for Terrance. Do we do zeros? We probably don't.
No, we don't have to actually give rate. I just wanted to know if there were things that.
Well, I'm just telling you who's the tops and the bottoms of the week. We'll go Drag Race style here.
Okay.
And Daniel, really far down there.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and bring in some questions from the live chat. Okay. Let's see. I had some good ones that I know I saw. Okay. Adam Katz wants to know, who's winning the wall? Okay, we got some
Ooh.
info at the end of the episode. Festy Besties is about to come to an end. Also, we got that we will have our endurance comp. It's going to be fan favorite The Wall coming up on Thursday night. Who are we feeling like is going to win the wall comp, which will play out? And what we'll do tomorrow night is we'll talk about it here live. So join us after the episode and we'll break down what's happening. We did that in BB23. People seem to really like it. So join us as we'll talk you through what's going on with the wall comp on Thursday night. And maybe we'll have our HOH by the end of the show.
Jasmine.
I think Turner or Taylor could do a good job.
Turner has a great chance.
Yeah, unless his knee or whatever, what was it? His knee popped out or something. I tried not to think about that because it freaks me out too much. But you know, if his knee is hurting or something, he seems fine. But if his knee is hurting, then maybe not. But I think he could get it if he's fine.
Yeah.
I also think Alyssa has a good chance.
Yes.
He has talked about going to F45, which is this gym I've been thinking about myself.
Oh.
So
it must be good.
Exactly. She has space.
She has space, so she's getting it.
Right.
She's winning.
So I think she has a chance. I'm thinking of just like the smaller in stature house guests. I think Taylor might be a little too tall. Monty for sure. I would be worried about Joseph's muscles. We've all seen them.
I'm not worried
depends
about
on
those.
what kind of wall comp it is, because that we've seen ones in the past where like the endurance comp is sort of like a little bit more of something that's like holding on and using your arms.
Sometimes they get like a whole like extra ledge. Like, let me just push myself against this and be here all night. It depends on how long they want them up there, I guess. Does Jasmine get her cane up there, or you know,
that would be
that's extra support.
Yeah. She just uses it as like a third leg.
I bet she'll sit out because she's not going to be able to stick the landing on coming down off the wall comp.
You really think she'll sit out?
I do.
Just I feel like they could.
Remember, she had a panic attack to go up in the harness.
Yeah. She'll just say she's afraid of heights.
Or like maybe she'll get up there to like try it out, and then she'll be like, no, get me down. I'm not doing it. Like, so maybe I don't know. She'll give it a shot, but not happening there. DJ Showtime, could he have a chance?
He's out first.
Not his comp.
First out.
First out.
Yeah.
Will he be first or second out?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then let's combine that with Oliver's question. Who's the most motivated to win the HOH? Well, it must be somebody from the convenience store, right? But then also that everybody's going to be going their separate ways if now Festy Besties is done. So might be an interesting night to see who's really wants this HOH.
Yeah, I think also Taylor has been saying she really wants to get it because she wants to get Terrance out. So I could absolutely see Taylor really going for it.
Yeah, if you throw that in, she does have a good chance. It's just like we don't know what we're working with. What type of ledge is it going to be moving? And so, I think Taylor is one of the ones that are most motivated. Even if we can't say like all of the convenience store indies, I don't think she's going to be that motivated to win. I think if once she's over the wall, she's going to fall. It's not going to be like, oh, well, I have safety and I have all this power. Jasmine's not playing. Terrance is out of the running.
I'm joking about it, but I really feel like it could be Kyle that's the most motivated, and for those reasons, I'm not kidding about that part. Like I feel like he wants the HOH room. I feel like that. Plus, I mean, I don't know exactly. I haven't been, I guess, keeping an eye on feeds close enough to see if he feels any kind of danger within his group, because of all of the Alyssa of it all, the fact that they're still not in the exact same alliance, and he's trying to kind of balance that. So this could be a good spot for him to get some power and make sure that he's got his relationship secured if he wants to go for it. I don't know. I feel like we could see a Kyle win tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Lone Ranger wants to say with Festy Bestie ending, will we get a new twist immediately or maybe 1 to 2 weeks down the line? So we have our first twist, and then we always have like our in the middle twist. Okay. We need our high roller room. Will that be rolled out this week or will that be next week?
I've been hearing that next week is the double eviction. So I think maybe they would wait until
2
after
weeks?
the double eviction, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, because this
because-
Sunday is
normal
going to be the wall comp, so they
Yeah,
have
because it's
something
like we've
for
got
Sunday.
wall comp, and then we've got double eviction, and then I think like the next thing will be a twist. I think. I don't know. I never can predict these things, so don't listen to me.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be very restrained of them to showing Kyle levels of restraint to not do the twist for 2 weeks.
So like barely any restraint at all.
Barely
Got
any
it.
at all. Yes. Okay. How about the leftovers? Who do they want to get out next? They were able to all stay on the same page here during Michael's HOH, but are they on the same page of who should go next?
I'm like thinking Terrance. I think that's
Terrance
kind of
or Jasmine.
Yeah, and I think Terrance would probably be. I mean, I think it also. I think it depends who wins HOH, but I think the majority of them are interested in targeting Terrance because I do also feel like they were like a little slighted by the idea that they kind of like pulled him in like after the Amira thing, and then it was like, oh, actually, I don't want to be with you guys, and he like made it very well known that he was like working with Daniel and all this stuff. So I think like part of it, and like spreading rumors around, and like Taylor wants him out, and I could see a situation where they're all like, yeah, let's just get him out. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
This is such a danger. Like the leftovers as players are such a dangerous group of players. I feel like whoever does take that first shot, if it had been Michael this week, or if it's another one of them next week taking the shot within themselves, which sooner or later somebody will have to do, like it's going to be a lot going on in the house, a lot of action, a lot of sides changing up, because when you look at the players that are on the other side, it is a bunch of weak players that are very easily scooped up. And it's just so insane to me to think about the idea that Terrance or Jasmine could be the next one to go while all of these big threats are in the house, while Michael, the 5 comp winning player, is still in the house. But it just doesn't feel like the natural next step for a leftover to put him up next week. It doesn't feel like anybody has that reason to, besides like, oh, you're a threat. But then, okay, Turner, you put Michael up, Turner as an example, like then okay, Turner, you're probably gonna be targeted soon after that because you've now won 2 HOHs or whatever the deal is. So as soon as somebody breaks that seal, I feel like the floodgates open up and the season gets even crazier. But for now, it's just insane to think about Terrance being the target.
Well, just looking at the other side of the house, is Alyssa the only viable person that could even win the wall comp on the other side of the house?
Yeah.
I mean,
Indy,
anyone
she
could
tried.
win, but I think it's going to be, I think Alyssa would be like the top contender for sure. I really don't see anyone else like really having a chance, but it's possible. You never know what kind of wall comp it'll be. You never know.
Okay. All right.
Stranger things have happened.
Anything else from the world of Big Brother tonight before we start to wrap things up?
I will say the only person that I think in the leftovers that would win and the leftovers would be over is Kyle, because I feel like he would take the first shot.
I
But
do think that.
I think anyone else in the leftovers is going to say, let's stick with it, is going to try to stick with it at least one more week. They're going to feel like it may be a bit too early. And then if next week is the double, I could see shots being taken in the second half because it's quick and easy.
Yeah. Okay. We will see tomorrow night. Join us live at 10:15 p.m. Eastern, as we are going to be watching the wall comp with you and then talking it through as we react to what's going to be happening live, and recap also our eviction of most likely Daniel on Thursday night. And we will have the chance to talk with Daniel on Friday. That would be the last exit interview before we get to the jury. Of course, be sure to join Taryn tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for everything that happens overnight, as he will get you set up for live eviction day, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Of course, then we'll have the patron Q&A as well on Friday. Had a fun time on Monday night, a very sloppy edition of the slop that we had a great guest to join us on the slop on Monday night. Chappelle joined us. We had a lot of fun with Daniel's publicist, and talked about some things that DJ Showtime is telling people to do outside the house. Plus, we also talked about hotties versus mommies. Melissa, did you hear about hotties versus mommies?
I did not hear about hotties versus mommies.
That is the new season of Big Brother that Julie Chen Moonves told Dalton Ross. That's her idea for a new twist.
Wow. I guess we're getting a lot of information in these interviews with Julie Chen.
Yes.
Very
she's
good,
pitching
pertinent information.
Hotties versus mommies. Of course, Wednesday night on CBS, you could also be watching the Challenge USA. They had another episode tonight. No spoilers in the chat, but on tomorrow morning, I will be back to talk with the latest two people eliminated from the challenge on our exit interview. And then, of course, check out what Ali Lasher and Brian Cohen have to say on our weekly challenge recap. And then, Aysha, I know you're a fan of Claim to Fame.
Yes, I thoroughly love that show. So I, of course, watched Bachelorette. And then when Claim to Fame premiered, I said, let me check it out.
Check it out.
If I can't get that hour back, it's okay. I love this show. And
Yes.
I like it too.
Yes.
Been very fun. Yeah.
So happy to recognize some of the people immediately. And so, yeah.
Oh, immediately. Look at you.
Yes.
Wow.
Knowing, you watch certain shows, you follow certain Olympics, some people.
You knew some people. Okay. Check out our episode 5 recap. Jenny, Autumn, and I were very fortunate to have some great guests with us. Lavina Pavel and Mike Bloom joined us on the latest recap of Claim to Fame. And of course, it's the start of August. Check out everything we have going on over on Patreon, where you can join in on live shows like The Slop, the BB Q&A, and much more at robinswebsite.com/patron. Melissa, what is coming up for you? And I was actually hoping that your dogs and Pepper would have the chance to break things down tonight.
Yeah, well, they tried, and they certainly tried to break things, but let's try not to let them do that.
Yes.
But yeah, nothing else is going on for me. Just Big Brother stuff. So I'm very excited to hopefully be on the round table again next week, so I can talk about it.
Everybody's feeling good at your house now?
Yes, thank goodness.
Okay,
we
happy to hear.
A-okay.
All right, great to have you back. It's Melissa.
3 A's on all social media.
Okay. How did your dogs do on Sunday night, Melissa?
How did they do on Sunday night?
With the competition, the HOH competition.
Not good, especially with the dogs squealing, like the noise of like someone stepping on a dog. They were like, what's going on? They were running around the house and barking at everything. And I was like, no, it's okay. And the second I get them calmed down again, there'd be the bark to start the thing. And then there'd be the squeal. And it was just like over and over again, never ending. And I was like about to turn it off because I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then it ended, thank God. So yeah, not great. Not a very dog friendly HOH.
How about for you, Aysha?
Pepper, she was chilling in the backyard when I watched the episode,
lucky,
peeping the scene, making sure nobody was intruding on my backyard. So she wasn't too distracted by the comp.
Okay. Aysha, what's coming up for you this week?
Yeah, so I am in the midst of covering season 15 of Married at First Sight. Yes, I love excitement.
The dogs love it.
The crowd goes wild.
So Jason Reed and I over on A Perfect Match, we're talking about this season. It's been very interesting so far. They're in the middle of the honeymoons right now, so definitely go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed to check us out over there. We just got a new theme song, which is great, from Will from America. So thank you so much, Will. It was great. It's a bop, guys.
It's a perfect match. Yeah,
it's a perfect match. And then that's pretty much it. And then keeping up with Big Brother 24, of course.
Okay, Aysha, great to have you back here with us. And then Matt, what's coming up for you?
Yeah, the challenge USA. I'm excited to watch tonight's episode as I could not, as I was here. And then we'll be talking about it with Brian Scally over on the Dom and Colin podcast. So if you want even more challenge coverage, check us out over there. Excited to see who from this group ends up on the next Challenge USA playing with Tyson. I mean, I'm obviously rooting for Joseph and Taylor, but I feel like we're going to get some uglier picks because that's what they do. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. Like genuinely a really fun season of the challenge. That's on a different network. It's on CBS, not MTV. It's weird, but it's great. It's been fun.
Sure. And if everybody's enjoying Tyson this season of if you think he's fun on the challenge, you should hear him every week on News AF.
Yes.
That's where he told me that's where he says his best jokes are on News AF every single week. So check that out. Another fun one with Tyson and Danny this week. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We'll be back tomorrow night live after the eviction. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.